So guys, very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the second class of corporate laws. Now we will be studying the corporate laws today, and formally this is the first class, rather this is the second class, because yesterday we had your good introduction, and yesterday we have also discussed about what we are going to study in this corporate laws. Right, so I have shown you the session wise plan for that, how we will be proceeding further with this. So today we will be studying that formally. So I'm sharing my presentation with you now so that you can just have a look of that, and then we will start it right from the beginning. Hope it is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So now regarding the corporate laws itself. Now the first thing is the historical background. Before we proceed further with any of the things, we must understand and know that how we will be able to how this law has evolved by the time. So this we are talking of Indian Companies Act. So Indian Companies Act previously was governed by the British law itself. Mostly the law in India are governed by Britishers. So the Indian Companies Act is also in the same way. It is also dealt with the because the background is the British only. So, but in India, there were because of the customs and the traditions, and there are some because of certain technicalities over here. Uh, Under the chairmanship of H.C. Bhabha Committee, the Indian Companies Act 1913, even at the time of Britishers, was launched. So, based largely on the recommendations of the Company Law Committee, a bill to enact the present legislation, which is the Companies Act 1956, was introduced in the Parliament. So, at that time, this was introduced in the Parliament. That because before 1956, because we got independence in 1947, so soon after that we thought that there is a need to change the law. So in 1956 it was introduced. Otherwise, we were already going with the 1913 Act, which was incorporated during the Britishers itself. And the present Companies Act, which is the Companies Act 2013, was the outcome of this, the Act of 2056. So though we have to go for a brief introduction and the brief about the Companies Act, but I have in this presentation I have given you all the details of how the Companies Act has evolved by the time. So we will be keenly just seeing that, and then afterwards we will shift to what is a corporate veil and what are the characteristics of the companies and all that we will study. So the Companies Act 1956 has undergone changes by the amendment. So the first amendment came in 1960, then 62, 63, 64, 65. In 1960s itself, you see every year there were amendments in the Companies Act. And these amendments in the Companies Act, why during this year there was amendment? Because the Companies Act by the time was evolving one after another. So many amendments happened, and this all the sequence of amendment was continued further, but the pace actually reduced. So the last the after in 1960s, the last amendment happened in 1971 and then in 1977. So in 1970s only two amendments happened, and then in 80s also two amendments happened, 1985 and 1988. 1988 was a major amendment which happened in this act. And then in 1996, because the main difference in the 1998 to 1996 act was there, because in between the dealing in the shares started electronically. So in 1992-93, there was a Harshad Mehta scam happened, and then afterwards the things started changing, and there was for the first time it was needed that the things should go on online or something like that, and that's why the stock exchanges also become proactive. And further in the amendment happened in 1999 and 2000, and then in 2002 and 2006. While I was doing, because I have got registered in my company secretaries in 1996 to 2006, I have keenly observed all these amendments happening. And in 2002, I cleared, and then afterwards I was in practice. So all these amendments I have personally seen. So let us just see the historical background which is displayed over here. The many major amendments. So East India Company at the time, it was the Royal Charter Company, which was actually came up with the major outstanding sovereign function, which was done in Europe and all, and it happened. So and even the tax collection used to happen from the Mughal emperor and all extra the Buxar after Buxar defeat also the things came up with. And in 1950 the first law on the registration of the joint stock company was enacted in India. And in 1957 itself the concept of limited liability was introduced. So and then further the consolidation of law happened, and in 1982 also where the liabilities are limited to the directors became unlimited also. Previously what happened, the limited liability was for the members, but
Hello.
the directors were unlimitedly liable. So in 1982 again
Hello.
amendment happened which actually made the liabilities of the directors also unlimited. Yeah, any question? Any question from anyone? Yeah,
Yes, sir. Hello.
yeah, please come.
Sir, I'm sorry.
Sorry, yeah, Laksha, you want to
Yes,
say
sir.
something? Yeah,
मैं
Laksha,
कह रहा
please.
हूँ सर, मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जो शाहिद चौहान है ना, वो आपकी टीम में एडेड नहीं है।
कौन चौहान?
शाहिद चौहान है सर, वो मेरे साथ फोन पे है अभी। वो आपकी टीम में एडेड नहीं है सर, इस वाली इसमें है।
अच्छा, उसके डू यू हैव हिज उसका आपके पास में उसका ईमेल आईडी है?
हाँ, ओए, तेरा ईमेल आईडी बता। सर वो बता रहा है, 1 सेकंड बता।
हाँ, एक मिनट, मैं अभी अभी उसको ऐड कर लेता हूँ, अभी उसको ऐड कर लेता हूँ।
अरे अभी बोल देना तू। सर शाहिद
बेटा एक
डॉट
मिनट, जस्ट अ मोमेंट, जस्ट अ मोमेंट, आई हैव टू, क्योंकि मेरे लिए भी ये चीज़ नई है। जस्ट आई एम गेटिंग दैट हाउ कैन आई ऐड हिम। या हाँ, बताओ बेटा।
सर शाहिद डॉट
SHA
SHAHID।
SHAHID
हाँ जी सर।
शाहिद चौहान। लो बेटा, मैंने कर दिया ऐड। आई हैव सेंट हिम द इनविटेशन, सो नाउ इट्स अपॉन हिम व्हेन ही जॉइंस। आस्क हिम वेदर ही हैज रिसीव्ड इट और नॉट।
सर वो कर रहा है, एक्सेप्ट कर रहा है। कर दी तो आ जा क्लास में।
एंड टेल हिम टू जस्ट शो हिज फेस।
हेलो हेलो।
हाँ शाहिद,
यस सर।
या कैमरा ऑन करो।
यस सर, 1 मिनट सर।
हाँ, कैमरा ऑन करो।
यस सर।
Okay, very good. So now you are in, and thanks to your friend, right? Lakshya
Yes.
has actually got you in. Anyway, so should we continue now?
Yes.
Meanwhile,
Yes,
I have also
sir.
learned how to add the people while the class is going on.
Yeah. Yes,
Fine.
sir.
चलिए ठीक है, आगे बढ़े अब हम।
Yes, sir.
The
Cool.
presentation is again on. Right. So these all things kept on going. So in 1993, the concept of private company came, and companies not for profit distribution companies, mean these are Section 25 companies which were called before Section 25 companies also came in existence. Means the companies which though earn profit but they do not distribute their profit amongst their shareholders are called companies not for profit. So the concept of these type of companies also was introduced in 1913. Now AGM, statutory meeting, extraordinary general meeting was also introduced in order to formalize the way of doing the business by these companies. And then the registration and mortgage of charges for the first time was introduced, because people just used to keep the mortgage and they used to forget. So this concept also came up. So in 1951 also the substantial powers, because after independence, after independence, the government also started creating their own companies with the limited liability, and substantial power was given to the central government in that case. Now, in 1956, the major amendment, what it was not an amendment, there was a complete revamping of the act, whatsoever laws we were following. And on 1st April 1956, the Companies Act 1956, which is actually called the mother of all the Companies Act afterwards, was inculcated, and which consisted of 658 sections with 15 schedules. So this was for the first time. There were certain provisions like full and fair disclosure of the policies, detailed information of the financial affairs of the company, provision of intervention and investigation by the government, restriction on the power of the managerial personnel, and for enforcement of the proper performance of the duties by the companies, protection of minority. These all were introduced in 1956 in order to make it more and more, you can say, robust, so that the corporate scenario in India can develop. So this what actually done in, and in 1956. The object to amend and consolidate the law of the company. Actually, why this was done, because there was the company law was in tits and bits, and it was actually spreaded in various acts. So there was an attempt in order to codify it in a formal way, so that everything comes in a consolidated form, so that everyone can interpret in the way it is to be interpreted. So as the corporate sector grew in the numbers, because there were the India was also developing, the size of corporations was also increasing, and also the company, the stock exchange also started working to some extent. So these all things happened, and there was felt to just have certain amendments afterwards also. So 24 amendments taken place since then, right? So further in 1960 also there was some amendment which was the recommendation of Shastri Committee, which came up with several provisions related to various aspects of the company's management, which were overlooked in 1956. So they were all taken. In 1963 again, the company's tribunal came into existence, and the board of company law administration came up as such. So, based on the recommendation of Vivian Bose Commission, also there was an amendment which happened in 1965, which introduced some major changes, such as the clear definition of main and subsidiary objects of the company in its memorandum, because there was previously no distinction. So people used to just take unnecessary benefit of it. So that was also improved. And in 1969, two more changes were introduced, and these changes were the managing agents and secretaries, though the concept of company secretary came in 1969, but it was not at all properly codified at that time. And second thing which came at the time of 1969 was contribution of companies to the political parties. So political parties also came in existence, and corporates actually used to accumulate a lot of money. So these were also, taken care of, because these political parties, they used to take very fat money from the companies, and then afterwards used to give them benefits when they come in the power. So that was also required to be controlled, and that also happened in 1960. And some provisions came up, though the provisions were not that much clear as they are clear now. But it is said that the provisions which came up in the amendment of 1969 were mostly for the benefit of the government at that time, because it was a time of regulation. So they used to more regulate the company rather than manage it. The management happened after the Companies Amendment Act 2000 came into existence. Means I mean to say 1999 came into existence. Anyways, so the Companies Amendment Act 1974 was also introduced, and it also means inject an element of public interest. So these also, if you see the history of the Companies Act, it has the shape in which it is now. You will find that one by one the fairness things have come up by the time. So in 1977, one amendment happened. 1985 also was there. In 1988 also, the Sachar Committee, on the recommendation of Sachar Committee, some amendments happened in the Companies Act. And from 1988, the role of company secretary in the company was made clear, along with the passing of the Company Secretaries Act 1980. So though Company Secretaries Act 1980 was passed in 1980, but the actual individual qualification, because it took time for the Institute of Company Secretaries of India also to develop. So in 1988 only the mandatory thing for particularly the company secretary was actually got recognition in 1980 itself. The concept of the company secretary in practice was also introduced for the first time, because it was felt that there is a need of having a company secretary in practice who can actually verify what the things are being done, and also to set up a company law board. So company law board, which now is called company tribunal, was introduced in 1988 only. So there was a big amendment, as I have already told you, in 1988. So further in 1996, the Depositories Act came into existence. Depository Act actually came into existence when the online dealing was open for the public, and there and it was felt that there is a need of you can say transparency in it. As I have already told you, there a very big scam happened in 1992, which was called Harshad Mehta scam, and with that scam, there was a need for having a transparency in the system. In during Harshad Mehta scam, actually, there was no electronic clearing of the shares. So a person who has sold his shares, he has to physically send his shares by post. And while the shares are in post, these type of brokers used to sell it many times in between when it comes to a physical transfer of the shares. So that has actually, they used to embellish the things, and by the time the share is actually registered, the value goes down, because they have created unnecessary hike in the market or the demand in the market, which actually is not there, because shares were there in the name of broker and it was in the pool. It was actually neither transferred to the transferee nor to the transferor, and in between it was there. So Depositories Act has given a clarity and transparency, and but in order to inculcate it in the company, that the Companies Act also need to be amended, and accordingly it was amended. So it was compulsory to have the demat account and demat things. So that's what happened in 1996. And in further in 1999, the concept of sweat equity shares came into existence, and the buyback of their own shares, the companies which was not previously allowed, was allowed in 1999. And then further, it was Investor Education Fund was provided. National Advisory Committee for Accounting Standard was these provisions were also included. And prior to the approval of central government, not required for the intercorporate investment lending purpose, subject to certain conditions. This was prior approval from the central government. No more was required after the amendment of this act. Previously, it was there. So if you see, the things started coming to the management rather than the regulation. So this actually gives a regulatory, from the regulatory to a management, it came up afterwards too. So this was the thing. And in 2000 again, there was an amendment which in which the private company and public company, the minimum paid up share capital of 1 lakh and 5 lakh was introduced respectively. Yeah, there is some question in between over here.
Yeah, sir, what is sweat equity shares?
Yeah, very good question. You have asked Abhigan. Sweat equity shares. Okay, Abhigan, please tell me what is sweat?
Pasina, yeah.
Isn't it? So
yes,
sweat equity shares are the shares which are issued to those people who have actually, जिन्होंने पसीना बहाया हो कंपनी के लिए. It means that these are the shares which are issued to those people who have actually given their whole and soul, or suppose they have developed some patents for the company, or by the virtue of which the company is earning. So in order to compensate them, these type of shares are issued either to the directors of the company or to such an employees who have actually given more than the money's worth. Okay, so
sir,
for
like
them,
founding members or something like that.
Sorry?
Founding members or something like that, like who?
Yeah, founding members, they already have the because promoter stakes is always there. But beyond that, if something someone else has done, suppose for example a person who is not the promoter of the company, but he has put his blood and sweat for the development of, suppose, some patent or some procedure he has done. So some substantial work which is recognized by the directors and the shareholders of the company, if he has done, then the company can issue him certain shares which are called sweat equity shares, and these shares are issued for consideration other than cash. So what is the consideration over here? The work which they have done is the consideration, and they are not charged. Means they are issued the shares free of charge. But the cost is already there because they have done something good for the company, right? I hope it makes sense. Abhigya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Good. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So. So these all sequence of amendments kept on going, and then in 2002 also the concept of producer company was introduced, and for the first time the company law board was proposed to be dissolved, and in place of that National Company Law Tribunal, or you can say NCLT, came into existence. So it was just proposed, it was not approved at all. And you know, when it got approved in 2013, and that too partially. So that was the thing. But one most important thing which came into existence in 2002 was the board of the BIFR was abolished. This was also abolished because previously the people used to actually make misuse of declaring themselves as Sikh companies. So, and then they used to take funds from this board, which is Board of Industrial and Financial Reconciliation, BIFR, which was abolished. And it was why it was abolished, because SICA Act was also repealed. SICA is Sikh Industrial Companies Act. Okay, so Sikh Industrial Companies Act was repealed, and as a result of that, the board which was under the Sikh Industrial Companies Act, SICA, was also abolished. For the first time it happened, because this board was actually ruining the money of the government. It was draining it out like anything. So and in 2006 again some sections were introduced by which you can say, because by the time electronic things have come up. So let me tell you, I was at the verge of completion of my training, and this director identification number, and I have done my training in registrar of companies. So these all the documents which we were doing at that time was all the company's documents, all the files were scanned and uploaded on the server in order to make it totally free from the things. Means this was the first most step towards the e-governance, and Jaipur was selected as the second registrar of companies in India to go electronic. So that was so DIN number, actually director identification number, also came into existence at that time by the by amendment by the existence of this Information Technology Act and all. So maintenance of records were made mandatory at the government level through this act itself. And then after 2006, there was lot of discussion which kept on going, and finally the JJ Irani committee was established in order to present a concept paper. Though this committee was established before, but it took time to just give its recommendation and do the thing. And the first step in the direction of the concept paper of the company law drawn up in the legislative format was exposed to the public for viewing, and the views of the public were also taken. So I also wrote at that time certain things for amendment of the Companies Act, and then afterwards the things came into existence, and finally the concept paper was accepted, and it took again from 2004 to 2013. You know, in a company like India, in a country like India, when the good things are yet to happen, then it takes a lot of time to happen. So finally in 2013, the Companies Act, New Companies Act, which was actually recommended, was came to existence. So in 2013, and that too, let me tell you why it came in, and it also came in so hurry. Otherwise, it would have taken some more time. It came just because of one reason. Well, this is one of the reason, that in 2009 there was a scam in which the Satyam actually abolished. Satyam was totally ruined, and that was only just because of the loopholes in the Act of 1956. And there was always a need of revamping the act, but the government was not doing it. Then it was a pressure on the government to just do it. And I think that at that time, Atal Bihari Vajpayee Sarkar came into existence, and it actually expedited the thing, and finally in 2013 this came into existence, or otherwise there was some change in the law, change in the government at that time when it happened. So the previous government, what they proposed was not at all successfully taken up by the next one. So it keeps on going. But in 2018, the new concept, which was of the modern age, came into existence, like better governance, better facilitation of the business. It also included the concept of one-man company for the first time. This one-man company was never there. Means corporate with a single man was only there as a sole proprietorship, but not as a company. But this concept was already there in the Singapore. So that concept was brought from Singapore and included in the company. The concept of small company, dormant company, independent director, women director, resident director, the special courts, secretarial standards, secretarial audit, class actions, these all came into existence. And even the e-voting, those who are in the remote, or you can say not in India, and if the meetings will not happen, there was one restriction in the Companies Act that if the meetings are not happened properly, then the company becomes the defaulter. And that's why this e-voting and e-presence in the meeting through this you can say video conferencing and all came into existence, and it was accepted as an actual presence. So this all thing happened, and finally we had this Companies Act 2013, which you are studying. So there is a huge history and of our Indian corporate structure, or you can say the India INC, behind the existence of the Companies Act, which you are studying now. So any question from your side or anything you want to ask? You may be having something interesting in your mind, so please tell me. Yes, Shreya.
Nothing's clear.
So
सर
yeah.
सर लेटेस्ट कंपनी एक 2018 पर थे 2013 अपन
नहीं बेटा, अभी 2018 का कोई एक्ट अभी नहीं आया. there is no Companies Act 2018.
Okay, so we studied 2013 Companies Act.
Yes, 2000, but there are a lot of amendments which have happened. अभी कोई Companies Act आने का कोई there is no chance. Actually, laws are not like that you can change it daily. There has to be some strong reason of revamping. Actually, 2000, there is the word which is called repealing. Repealing is the old act, when the old act goes off and the new act come into existence, then it is called that there is a repealing of the act, right? The repealing happens only when there is a sheer need for that to happen. Okay, so that is what it is, right? So till now there is no means actually Companies Act 2013 was made so flexible that no need was there in order to repeal it till date. So though amendments are there, so amendments can be done. So actually what they did was they used the words as prescribed, and actually when you are how the law changes, you have to present a bill in the parliament in order to change the law. But in order to change a resolution, you need not to do that. So it is easy to actually change the provisions of the act just by bringing up a circular. So when you are coming up with a circular, you can change the law by that. So changing of law is easy when you have made it flexible. So that's what has happened, and that provisions of the Companies Act 2013 has made it good enough to pass the things like this. Okay. Yeah. So should I proceed now? Because now we will be going to what the company is and how the company works.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
So the word company is derived from the Latin word com, which is together, like we all are together. And bread is panis, means what the thing is, when people join hands together in order to earn their bread, in order to earn their livelihood, it is called company. Or otherwise, in the loose sense, if we just talk about what is a company. Now, I have a good company of these three people who are online now, and also those who are not showing their faces, but I'm accompanied with them. So this is a company. Company means to be together, to have your hands in hands. So when we are together, when the like-minded people meet and they join their heads and hands together, then definitely good ideas come up, and definitely there is a synergy which comes up. And because of this synergy, you know, more energy comes up and we can do the works in a better way. So that's why the definition of the company itself comprise of okay. So you can now I hope you are able to understand what the company is. So when the people come together, right, like-minded people come together, then we call that it is a company, right? So in popular parlance, a company or a firm denotes an association of like-minded person formed for the purpose of carrying on some business or undertaking. A company under the law is a corporate body or a body corporate, and a legal person having a status and personality distinct and separate from its members constituting it. So the personality of the company is totally different and separate from the from you can say the owners, or you can say the people who are behind the company itself. Just a moment, let me just show you one more thing which I have. Just a moment. I have one very good video which I will forward to you, all of you, on your WhatsApp also. And if you can see it now, it will really make a good sense to all of you for that. So just hold for a moment. I am just bringing that video to you. Okay, have you seen the movie Mangal Pandey?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Great. So there was, I'm just coming up with a scene of Mangal Pandey itself to you. Just now I'm showing one in that he actually asks that what a company is, and the way he replies is amazing, and there is a things to learn in that. So that actually I use when I'm teaching. So I just forgot to just put it in this presentation, but I have it with me, so I'm showing it to you now itself. Let me just give me one more a couple of minutes. Let me find where it is. Okay, let me just find it out in computer. Let the computer do its work. So meanwhile, we will be discussing some of the other things too. So let me just I will get back to the definition of the company when I will find the video itself. So let us discuss certain characteristics of the company itself, right? So the characteristics of the company, first, it is a corporate personality. What is a corporate personality? Corporate personality means it is incorporated and it is having a existence distinct from its members. I hope you have studied your accounting. In accounting, what is the assumption? Assumption is that your business and businessmen both are different. So whenever you are employing some money in your business, the first most the entry which we do is what is the first most entry which we do while starting the business? Cash oblique bank account DR to capital account. So by this entry, what we are doing? We are actually employing that whose capital account is the account of the person who is the owner of the business. So owner has actually invested certain capital in the company. So and the company's account, or company's cash account, has been debited, means it is giving a money to the company. So if you see it from the company's point of view, debit what comes in, so cash is coming inside, and credit the giver. Now who is the giver? Giver is the owner of the company. The company itself through its accounts also treat it different from its owner. Okay, so that actually is the corporate personality, means a personality which is distinct from its owners. When you create a company, when you go for a company, or when a company is incorporated, when a company is created, and when the registrar of company issues the certificate of incorporation to you, from that day is the birthday of the company. That day the company comes into existence, and from that day itself the company is having a personality distinct from its members. Next is your limited liability. I hope you are able to understand the corporate personality. Is it
Yes,
okay
sir.
with
Yes,
all
sir.
of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have anything else? Oh, anything you would like to contribute over here? Any of you? No problem. Even if this topic is not completed today, we can take it tomorrow. It's tomorrow also. Okay. But the thing is that you must understand the concept, right? So next is limited liability. What is limited liability? Anyone?
The liability is limited to the extent the own.
Liability limited to? Yes, come on, you're correct.
Sir, the liability is limited to the extent the person did not have to bring.
Okay. Limited liability means to
Sir,
the extent you have invested something in the company, you need not to invest anything else beyond that. Okay. I hope I have got the video also. So let me see whether it works. I think I have to run it through the VLC player. Open with. Anyways, I think it is not working now. I will incorporate it in one of my presentations, and then I will show it to you over there. Anyways, so let's do not waste our time in that. Okay, so limited liability is this is one of the most important feature, you can say, of the Companies Act itself. Limited liability means you will not be asked anything beyond. Just a moment, I think it has started. Yeah, it has started. Just wait. I'm just sharing my desktop to you, and then we will be able to. Then you tell me that whether it is properly visible to you or not, right? I'm sharing again. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
I hope it will be audible also. Let me increase the volume to full. Yeah. Just listen. And please listen very carefully each and every word what this Mangal Pandey asked and what that English Britishers again responded him. Okay, please note that.
आवाज नहीं आ रही
Sir, it is not
Sir,
audible.
Amir Khan की
Sir,
आवाज
it's not audible, sir.
It's not audible.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Amir Khan की
Okay,
आवाज ही
fine,
नहीं आ रही.
fine. So what I will do is I will send this video to your WhatsApp, right? And from your
Sir,
WhatsApp,
yes, sir.
And let us do one thing. Let us discuss this video tomorrow. I would like to have the insight of actually what the thing in this video is that person is okay. We will discuss this nature and characteristics also tomorrow because the video actually leads to this nature and characteristics. So what you have to do tomorrow is that I will send this video to all of you. And what you have to do is you have to actually relate this video with the definition of the company. Can you do that? Okay, what he says and what the definition of the company says, you have to relate it, and then let me just ask it from you whether you have understood this thing with this video or not. Would that be okay? So this is an assignment which will not be marked, but let me just see that how you actually take it up, because you also want to have some good fun with this. So we will keep on doing such type of activities in the future also. So this is so I will stop here today itself. So tomorrow, so today what we have done is we have actually studied the historical background of the companies and how the company has come into existence. What were the things which actually brought this law, which is the foundation of the Companies Act 2013, the act which we will be studying now. OK, so this is what we have to do. And tomorrow we will be discussing as soon as we will be close with this with today's presentation. I am sending you this video on your WhatsApp to all of you in the group which Shreya has created. So that group will be helpful for us to, just see that what are the things which we are going to study and all. OK, so any question from today's class, or if you are having any queries in your mind, you can please ask me now. Come on.
So can you please suggest a textbook, preferable textbook?
Beta, my notes, I hope you have seen my more than 350 slides which I have uploaded on your in your class records. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
OK, anyways, if you have not seen, see that. That will, I think that will be more than sufficient. But still, if you want a book or if you want to have an in-depth study, actually what the thing is, let me tell you a thing very, very frankly and clearly. Companies Act is so huge that this is the longest act of the world. Let me share with you this thing. And both the acts, the longest act of the world is the Companies Act, and the most complicated act of the world is Income Tax Act. And fortunately, both belongs to India. We are fortunate to have this, and that's why our chartered accountants, our company secretaries, they can work anywhere because they have seen those complexities and they know how to deal with it. So you know why these things are there? Because in India, people have very great and good minds. So they find the loophole of the law when one or the other way, and then the government is again behind in closing that loopholes, and in that way the law gets so escalated that it becomes so complex also and so lengthy also. So this is what, because Indian minds are super minds, you know it very well, and we are actually ruling the world, but not ruling our country at least. In the other parts of the world, we have our recognition that is known to everyone, because in any committee, anything, whether it is NASA or whether it is even in CII, even in FBI, everywhere you will find Indian minds behind. Anyways, but the thing is that we have to study it, and this Act of 2013 has now shrinked. Previously, I told you that it was having 658 sections, the Companies Act 1956, by the time it was amended. So that is the thing. Anyways, so anything else?
No,
Yeah.
sir.
Anyone else? Anything else? So let me just take the attendance. Yeah, Astha.
Present, sir.
Abhigyan.
Present, sir.
Aditya. Ankit.
Present, sir.
Anshul. Arpan,
sir.
Ashutosh,
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
Ayush, Ritik, Jaspreet, 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 you are there?
Sir, Aditya present.
Okay, beta. Okay, Aditya.
Sir, Ritik also present.
Fine, fine, fine. So, Janvi, Kaushal.
Sir, Arpan also.
Present, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. Pritam and Abhigyan, you have some questions? Okay, you have raised the hand for the present. Okay, those who are present, please raise your hands. Ayush, Abhigyan, great. Shahid, Pritam,
Present, sir.
Ashutosh. Yeah, it's okay. Shravan, Sambhav, Tushar, Ritik,
Present, sir.
yeah, Yashwardhan, Raghav, Ashmit,
Present, sir.
Navya, Naveen, Sanya, Anshul, Arpan, Vanshika, Vatsal, Kaushal,
Present, sir.
Aditya, Lakshya, Shreya,
Present, sir.
Ankit, yeah, I can see that. Ankit, sorry, Abhigyan, Astha,
Present,
okay,
sir.
fine.
Present, sir.
Yeah, great. So attendance is over now. So you can log off. So we'll meet tomorrow, and soon after you will log off, you will find a video on your. Shahid is again asking means permission to present, so I'm not allowing him to give the control. Fine. So see you tomorrow, guys. So let me see how
Thank
good
you,
you
sir.
the
Bye,
analysis
sir.
of the video, right?
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Bye, bye.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, guys.
Bye,
Have a
sir.
good day.
Thank you, sir.
सत श्री अकाल, sir.
बाय सर, बाय।
अरे सर वापस पढ़ाएंगे अपन को कल, बार बार बाय मत बोलो। क्या